You have a soul level love. That love is equal, and it is as deep for you as you have it for your specific person. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In case you're new here, my name is Kim. This is Core Union, and I want to talk today about why I think it's so important that you stop checking the 3D to seek for validation of whether what you're feeling deep down in your soul is true or not. So before I get into this, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel if you love my content. And if you want coaching to manifest your specific person back or improve the relationship with better communication or what have you, feel free to email me a short description to kim@coreunion.com. And then I will email you back my next available session after you've booked your session through my website at coreunion.com. You can either book a 30-minute or a 60-minute session. Most people do like to get the packages because it does make regular meeting with me much, much more affordable. When some YouTubers say that it's okay to check your 3D reality, I literally cringe. And I literally say, why would you tell them this? Because it is truly going to be so confusing and make it harder for you guys. So if I were you, I wouldn't listen to people on YouTube who think that they understand manifesting saying, go ahead and check your 3D. Like, it's okay to check their social media. It's okay for this and that. The reason why is this. Sometimes, so for example, I've heard a lot of examples of how if you're placing an order, you know that it's coming. So you go ahead and you check status of it. And that's okay. It's not like checking status of it is going to make it not come. But actually, that's not true. And this is why this is going to be so simple. And I do believe that it's going to make a lot of you guys understand why it's important for you to stop the behavior. So if I place an order on Amazon today, and I know that the order is coming. I know that the order is coming. So let's pretend there's a self-concept that I have within me, a belief system that I have around ordering on Amazon. I have Amazon, I have the sellers, I have the shipping dates, so the length of time that it's going to take, and I have the delivery people, whether it's like DHL, FedEx, UPS, or something like that. So at all of those levels, if I believe, for example, my orders always take a long time, then somehow there's going to be a delay. If I believe that this is taking way too long, somehow there's going to be a delay. If I believe that it's going to come quickly, but my UPS driver is a jerk and he never gets it right, and he always he always loses my shipments or something, my boxes, something's going to happen there. So in other words, if I have a concept within me, a belief system, that at all of those things, something could go wrong, then most likely something could go wrong. That's why it's just important. It's not as simple as just placing the order and knowing it's coming and trusting that it's going to come. Because if I don't believe it's going to come in time, or I believe there's going to be a problem, there's going to be a problem. And I'll give you actually one more example, and then I'll get back into specific person stuff. When I had my other business that I had manifested, if you guys haven't seen the other videos, I manifested basically another business out of an experiment to prove that this was all real. And so I created something literally out of nothing. And then that became my little mini empire. And I literally went from making literally no money to $100,000 per month. And I did it by doing exactly what I'm teaching you guys to do. And it was meant to be an experiment. So people would spend a lot of money with me. When they would worry constantly about how long their order would take, I swear to you, simply because they had a bad experience, maybe at another store, or who knows what their issues were. But to use one customer as an example, her order, because she kept coming in, I told her it was going to be 6 to 8 weeks or whatever it was. She kept coming in and pestering me over and over and over and over again. Her order, and this happened to many people, by the way, it's not just her. I have so many of these exact stories. Her order kept getting delayed. It was always one thing after another after another. And I ended up seeing all of the other people's orders that were just relaxed and chill. And they were like, it'll come when it comes. I'm not worried about it. I trust you. I trust this, blah, blah, blah. Her order kept getting delayed to the point where she ended up waiting double the time because she was constantly checking, constantly worried about it. So she literally ended up experiencing exactly what she didn't want. But life just simply reflected her back to her. Okay. So that's just an example. It's a very 3D example. But so remember, you are seeing what you want and you're trusting in your end. But don't check the 3D, because when you do keep checking the 3D, your self-concept is not in trust. You actually don't believe in your inner work because you keep checking to see if it's working. You are seeking validation outside of you. And when you seek validation constantly outside of you and you stop remembering that everything, this is inside in your heart and soul with your specific person. When you constantly need to seek for evidence and you're checking their social media and you end up inevitably either seeing a lack of anything, or you see something that you don't want to see, that you did not need to hear, you did not need to see, you did not need to read. Maybe you saw pictures that triggered you. That act that you did was out of a self-concept of not being in trust. And because of that experience now, it's not that your end doesn't exist with your specific person, but you just literally tortured yourself. You exposed yourself to stuff you did not need to see, stuff you did not need to be in your consciousness. And so now the only reason there's a delay is because now you have to get over all of the emotional stress now that caused you. Now you have to go back because now you're back in distrust. Now you're back losing faith again. Now you're questioning the whole process, because if this was working, then this wouldn't have happened. This doesn't make any sense. You have a soul level love. That love is equal, and it is as deep for you as you have it for your specific person. When you think of the best and highest version of you and the best and highest version of your person in the relationship that you guys will have, okay, that you are going to experience, because it does exist. It existed before you guys even met, which is why the pulling and the desire is so incredibly deep and strong. When you think about the best version of everything and everyone involved, right? The reason why you can think about the version of your specific person, for example, who is in love with you as much as you're in love with them, who's secure in the relationship, who wants what you want, who wants you equally as much, that you can immerse yourself in really feeling in this amazing, incredible love. The only reason why you can even think and feel into that is because that is the truest version of them. And anything that came up in the 3D was just a bunch of fears. And the fears just come up so you can look at them, go within, go into your trust, give yourself the little love that you need, do whatever healing you have to do. And that does not have to take a long time. And then just stay in complete blind faith, knowing that you just simply would not have this love unless they had it for you too. And somebody recently asked under one of the videos something like, well, what about people who just stalk people? They're not really loving the person. It's not the same thing. So it's not even, you can't even compare it. Everything is you pushed out and everyone is your divine messenger. That's technically what the quote is by Neville. And so remember that if you insist on checking your 3D because you're just not in any kind of trust, just think about what self-concept you're creating from and really ask yourself, is this the experience that I want to keep having? Because you're just doing it to yourself. You're just putting yourself on the loop of not having the relationship that you want, and you're just dragging it out longer than it actually has to be. And yes, the paradoxical thing is, the more you are frustrated with the time and angry and things like that, that is going to just continue to push it out longer and longer and longer. So I highly suggest that you only trust, like the only proof that you need is what you feel at that soul level. That is all the proof that you need, and just stay in trust and faith. And if you are inspired to do or say anything, just always do and say things with that soul level love, with that trust, in surrendering, not in any kind of lack or manipulation or control. Okay? I hope that this video helps you guys. Please do comment down below that you know that it's done, and that you know that your specific person loves you equally as much and as deeply as you love them. If you need me, just reach out. I love you.
Nothing can come, nothing can come, nothing can come between us. Nothing can come, nothing can come, nothing can come between us.